Hello everyone, this is part 6 of What If Naruto Was a Genius with Kyuubi Powers, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. The Tsuchikage paced the floor of his tower. He had just received a message from Konoha. Tsunade was sending some ninjas on a diplomatic mission. This wouldn't be too bad, if his spies hadn't told him that one of them looked just like the Yondaime Hokage. This news was very distressing. On top of that, two other ninjas were Sasuke Uchiha and Koppai Kakashi. What was she trying to do? Declare war. He had half a mind to kill them as they made their way here. If he did, however, he would be declaring the war. He had no choice but to let them come. He really hated Tsunade right now. A ninja appeared behind him. Sir, they're here. The Tsuchikage cursed under his breath. Send them in. Time to see how accurate his spies. Soon as he walked into the room, the Tsuchikage nearly fainted. He did look just like the Yondaime Hokage. Greetings, Tsuchikage-sama. I am Naruto Namikaze, son of Minato Namikaze, the Yondaime Hokage. The Tsuchikage poured some tea into Naruto's cup. It had taken him at least 3 minutes before the poor man recovered from seeing Naruto, then it took 2 more before he could put enough words together to order some tea to be brought in. Finally, he composed himself enough to have a decent conversation. So, where are your teammates? The Tsuchikage asked. Sightseeing, Naruto answered. I would, but the chances of me being assassinated in the streets would be very high. Naruto sipped his tea. It would be, wouldn't it? The Chikage said. I'm sorry, but I'm just too curious. Who are your teammates? Well, Team 7, my former team, is now composed of Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno, Saifenikusu, and is led by Kakashi Hatake. My new team, Team Fox, is composed of myself, Hinata Hyuga, the Hyuga Heiress, and Kyuubi no Kitsune. The Tsuchikage dropped his cup. Did USS say KKK Kyuubi? Yes, Kyuubi no Kitsune, the nine-tailed fox. You see, Kyuubi had to fake his death after Orochimaru killed his family. Yondaime, who was a very good friend, offered to help him. Unfortunately, it went a little too far, and my dad SD. But with Orochimaru he can resume his life, more or less. The Tsuchikage believed every word. Hook, line, and sinker. Well, I must say, Naruto-san, I'm very impressed with your teams. You must have been a very important person. Unfortunately, I wasn't. My heritage was kept a secret until I became a chunin, and nobody really liked me. But anyways, to business. Somewhere in Iwagakure, Sai was trying to enjoy himself. He found it fairly hard to do, seeing as how he had nearly no emotions. Danzo. He ruined his life. He suddenly realized something and stopped walking for a second. He was angry. He was angry. His first emotion. Whoa. He continued walking, that was very new. Sakura was slightly annoyed at Naruto. It wasn't that he was mad at him, she was mad at his happiness. Hinata's too. How could they be so happy? Naruto was a loud, outspoken idiot, and Hinata a shy, quiet little girl, and together they made the happiest couple in Konoha. What was wrong with this picture? Sasuke noticed her overflowing jealousy, and sighed. He shouldn't bother. But that's what the old Sasuke would do, and he promised that the old Sasuke would never exist again. He sighed again. Arayo, for your thoughts. Sakura jumped at the question. He cared. Sweet. It's Naruto and Hinata. How can such opposites be so happy together? Well, I heard Naruto say the day they met he should have walked up to her and said, "Hi, I'm your other half." When did he say that? 2 days ago, you know, when they were just sitting there in each other's arms. Oh, Jiraiya was walking along in the city, listening to the comments made by all of the old pervs. Isn't that Jiraiya? Who? Jiraiya, the writer of Ichika Paradise. Oh, that Jiraiya. You know, Ichika is the best thing to come out of Konoha. Each comment only served to swell the Sanin's pride. However, one incident on the way to Iwa managed to keep it in check. Flashback. Jiraiya was looking through his notes. With the flip of each page the same thought pounded in his head. I need more material. Unfortunately for him, his new target was Hinata Hyuga. I would continue with retelling the events, but it would be a little too graphic for a T rating. So let's just say Jiraiya made a note to never, ever make Hinata into a character in his books. End flashback. His C still hurt. Kyuubi was enjoying the sights with Kakashi and Hinata. Kakashi enjoyed seeing the points of interest, while Kyuubi told the story behind it. He should know, he was there. And this is where the founders of Iwagakure hung their first traitors. Notice the large spikes that are stationed below them. Cool. So, you see, if war was to be declared on Konoha, Iwa would supply at the very least 6 teams for reinforcements. Naruto said as he explained some of the finer points of the treaty. Only 6 teams. Well, if what I've heard about Iwa Nins is true, that's all we'll need. The Cheekage smiled. He was such a suck-up, but he was believable enough to make him buy it. This kid was good. And in return, Konoha will supply Iwa with any ninjas it needs if an invasion or battle is called on them. Suddenly a resounding boom echoed in the city. What was that? Naruto and the Cheekage cried. Not waiting for an answer, both ninjas disappeared into the city. Hinata, Kakashi and Kyuubi were tasting some Iwa cuisine. It took them a couple of minutes to explain the situation to the owner of the restaurant, and after finally convincing him that hey weren't there to K everyone, they sat down too. An explosion rocked the ground beneath them. Quickly, the Konoha nins jumped, leaving the waiter a tip. Maybe Konoha's not so bad. Jiraiya was doing some research at the bathhouse. These Iwa chicks are so hot. Look at the hooters on that one. That one over there, she's curvier than a road. That girl over there is. Suddenly an explosion was heard. Jiraiya quickly forgot the women before him and his mind went into what he liked to call Sannin mode. By the volume of the explosion, it was 3.4 kilometers east, roughly in the center of the city. It was created by an special clay commonly found in Iwa and used for explosives when pumped with chakra. Most known uses of this clay are S, with the exception of Deidara of the Akatsuki. All this passed through his head in the space of a second, and in another second he was gone. Sai had met up with Sakura and Sasuke halfway in between his walk, listening in on their conversation. So you don't believe that 2 halves make a whole? Sasuke asked. No, I think love is more like multiplication than addition. 2 wholes make 1. Sai sighed. If only emotions like love were as simple as mathematics. An explosion rocked. Danzo was good for something. Quick, Sai cried. Thanks to his training he knew exactly where to go. To the center of the city. At the center of the city, 3 figures stood over a crater. See, Sasori-san, art's a blast. Whatever. A large, bent-over figure said. Will both of you stop it? We have a mission to do. Itachi, the 3rd figure said, why the leader paired me with idiots like you, I'll never know. Nobody move, a voice cried. The 3 of them looked up, and the top of a building, stood 9 figures, Team 7, Team Fox, Jiraiya, and the Tsuchikage. The bent-over figure glared at the taller blonde one. I told you not to set off an explosion. I told you they'd hear you, but no. I'm sorry Sasori-san. Suddenly Naruto broke out laughing. Sasuke decided to ask why. What's so funny, Dobe? Dude. Ha. I thought he was a chick. Ha. Sasuke started smiling. Naruto, he said, obviously holding back the floodgates to his laughter, that's not fun ha, that's not fun ha, that's not ha. Both of them started rolling on the ground. Finally, Hinata cracked and joined them. Okay, enough guys, we have a fight here. Kyuubi said. Alright. I'll make sure to stop them. Dara smirked. What can you do? Tsuchikage, I have 2 questions for you. Naruto said. What? The first one is, if I bring you Deidara's head, will you sign the treaty? The Cheekage thought for a while. Why not? Good. Second question, was Deidara a part of the Out of Konoha War? Yes, actually. Good. Team Fox. TSLE Namikaze barrage. Hi. Hinata and Kyuubi said, quickly starting to form a certain jutsu. In a hidden village like Iwa, not too many people forget the past. One of those pasts was Yondaime Hokage. Some ninjas still had nightmares about him. There were 2 jutsus he used and after the war, neither were mentioned in Iwa. Until this day. Rasengan. 3 Razingans came rushing at Dara. Not for 20 years had he seen that jutsu. It scared him. Luckily for Deodara, Sasori wasn't in those battles. A giant puppet suddenly appeared in front of the ex-Iwa Nin. Unluckily, whatever puppet it was completely and utterly destroyed as Kyuubi's Rasengan plunged into his chest. Hinata and Naruto ran at Deodara. Double Rasengan flying drill. Hinata and Naruto grabbed hands and began spinning in the air, forming a Gatsuga-like attack. Deodara blinked. The next thing he felt was pain, inexplicable, excruciating. He felt like he was flying. Then the jolting pain returned. And then, everything went black. Deodara lay there, his torso was gone, his legs were gone, his arms, no real surprise, were gone too, disintegrated by the new jutsu. All that was left was the head, and a very small tail of skin, which was all that was left of his back. Naruto picked up the head by the hair. Too easy, and threw at the Tsuchikage's feet. You have a treaty to Sai, Tsuchikage-sama. Everyone blinked. Team Fox had just killed a S-class ninja with one jutsu. Not to mention the fact that they destroyed one of Sasori's puppets. Itachi glared. It looks like we should come back another time, Sasori. Sasori didn't hear him. His puppet was gone. Gone. No more. One of his most treasured objects in his life. With one attack, his puppet was dust. You'll pay for that. He reached into his robe and pulled out 4 scrolls. Kyuubi had seen those scrolls before. Don't let him open those scrolls. Team 7's turn to shine. Choju Giga, an ink dragon, came flying at Sasori. And rammed him, successfully knocking a scroll out of his hand. Sakura ran up to the giant hunchback man, and showed everyone her true strength. She threw a punch at Sasori's jaw. He went flying straight up. No, seriously, he went flying. A rocket launch couldn't keep up with him. He was in the air for a full 10 seconds before landing. When he did, they saw the head was completely destroyed. An eyeball was hanging from a string, his jaw was off its bolt, and there was a large fist-shaped dent at the temple. Sasori got up, then stumbled. His legs were broken from the landing. He couldn't move anything. The punch had destroyed the puppet's end. Sakura had hit hard and true. Sasori had no choice. A pop was heard and the large hunchbacked figure fell, a lifeless puppet. Out from him rolled a small, skin-colored round object. On it was written the kanji, Sasori, meaning scorpion. Naruto picked it up in his left hand. He looked at it for about 5 seconds, and crushed it. Itachi stared at the 7 ninjas now facing him. Wait, 7. He quickly counted them. Where was Sasuke? Chidori. Sasuke's voice called from behind him. Itachi stood there. Suddenly, just as the ball of lightning was about to hit him, he turned into a log. The lightning SD down after it charred the wood, and Sasuke began searching for his brother. Sorry, Sasuke, everyone whirled in the direction the voice came from. Itachi stood on a building. I cannot S today. I must leave. Sasuke threw 4 kunai. They only hit air as Itachi disappeared. Sasuke jumped after him. He reached the building, but his brother was nowhere to be found. No. Where did you go, you coward? Come back and face me. I have to revenge our family. I have to kill you. Why did you do it? Sasuke's fist quivered with rage. His face was twisted in anger. His onyx eyes holding a fire of hatred. The only thing that betrayed his anger was the single tear that hung on his cheek. Why can't you let me kill you? A hand fell on his shoulder. Sasuke. Naruto voice said, he didn't want to cause you this much pain. What does he mean by that? Before he could ask, Naruto fell backwards, asleep. Before Sasuke could react, Kyuubi came with Hinata over his shoulder. Without a word he picked up Naruto and slung him over his other shoulder. As he stood up, he glanced at Sasuke's surprised face. The double Rasengan flying drill takes a lot of chakra. Then, without another word, he turned and left for the hotel. The next day, the Chichikage signed the treaty, and the alliance between Konoha and Iwa was final. He would leave for Konoha in 2 days for the celebration that would be held. Teams 7 and Fox were given that time to head back and tell the Hokage to prepare. They went on the trail home, happy that the mission was an absolute success. Jiraiya asked Naruto how he developed the flying drill jutsu Naruto performed the other day. Naruto only smiled and replied, "What can I say? I'm a namikaze." "Well, kid, I have to say, I like you." You wouldn't happen to need another team member, would you? Sorry, that'd be a bad idea. I mean, you have a clan head, a clan higheress, and a biju on the same team. That's pretty unfair as it is. A Sannin would only make things more unfair. Naruto smiled again, then ran ahead to catch up with his team. That night, as the team sat around a fire, Sasuke approached Naruto with a question. What did you mean yesterday? What do you mean? He did want to cause me this much pain thing. What are you talking about, team? You said that Itachi didn't mean to cause me this much pain. I did. Sasuke was about to get in his sleeping bag, when he heard a soft, wispy voice. I will answer your question another day. When you're ready. When teams Fox and Seven came back to Konoha, they immediately went to the Hokage Tower. Tsunade was pleased to hear that the Tsuchikage signed the treaty, but wasn't too pleased that the two teams had gotten along, but was greatly pleased that Naruto had caused Jiraiya serious pain for researching on Hinata. When the teams had left, Tsunade was in a good mood, which soon changed into a bad mood as soon as the Sandime gave a slight cough. Tsunade gave him a look, which was then followed by 200 Ryo. I've really got to stop this. Naruto was in a rather generous mood that day and he asked Team 7 if they had anything to do the next day. Sai had clan business to attend to, but Sasuke and Sakura were free the next day. Good, come over tomorrow and bring swimsuits. Sasuke and Sakura had no idea why they had to bring swimsuits, but did anyway. They knocked on the door, and Kyuubi answered, in a swimsuit. Oh, good, you're here. Follow me. Kyuubi led them to the indoor lake, and they suddenly realized why they had to bring swimsuits. Think of it as a beach without being able to tan, or get a sunburn. Naruto said as he ran into the water. Sakura loved the idea, especially since she could be in a bikini in front of Sasuke. They enjoyed the day of swimming, sand burying, and sand castle building, and it did them some good. Sasuke finally had some fun, something he hadn't done in years. For once, life was good. Naruto couldn't believe it. He had promised himself so many times to never take after his sensei. Yet, here he was, a sandwich in his mouth, his coat hanging only on one arm, his headband tied haphazardly on his head. He was late. Naruto ran for the Hokage Tower, trying to retie his headband while eating a ham and cheese sandwich. He reached the door, but instead of going in, he ran up the side of the building. Some Anbu joined him. Stop, we need identification. Guys, not now. Naruto med. I'm so late. Be that as it may, we need identification. Come on guys, give me a break. No can do. Look, it's not like I'm trying to K anybody. Naruto said, still running up the side of the building. Then you wouldn't mind giving us identification. Naruto kept running, you guys are worse at the airport. The Anbu kept running, and asking for identification, while Naruto kept running up the building. Finally one Anbu ran up beside him. Stop running and give me your identification. Naruto just looked at him then said, you should watch where you are going. Before the Anbu could understand what he said, he ran directly into a flagpole. Naruto reached the Hokage's office. I'm here. He said as he jumped through the window. The Godime Hokage glared at him. You're late. Apparently Kakashi had a greater impact on my life than I thought. Naruto said with a pitiful attempt to brighten Tsunade's mood toward him. It failed. So, the mission. You and Team 10 are going as guards to the Kazekage. Okay? Hey, who got the job, anyways? Sandime spoke up. A good friend of yours, Gaara. Awesome. You leave in an hour. Tsunade said. Yes ma'am. Naruto said before jumping out the window. Are you ready, guys? Kyuubi asked the gathered teams. Troublesome. I'll take that as a yes. Answer. The two teams departed. Hinata and Ino were talking together while the guys walked in the front. Hey, Shikamaru. Naruto said. What is it, Naruto? Why don't you wear your kunai holster on your arm or something? Shikamaru's interest was perked. Why would I do that? It's when you use your shadow techniques, you can grab a weapon that won't be there for the enemy, so you'd be armed, and he won't be. Shikamaru thought for a second. That could work, it would also. Quote. Work vice versa, you could S yourself with a kunai that wasn't there, while the other guy ked himself. Kyuubi sighed. There they go, sharing theories already. Well, it's expected isn't? Chuji asked. I mean, they are geniuses. Yeah, they are. I guess it's for the best. Kyuubi-sama, I have some questions for you. Go ahead, what are they? I understand that you were forced to attack Konoha because of Madara Uchiha's Sharingan, but I don't understand why he would have a grudge against Konoha. Well, you see, for a question like that, we must go back several generations to the founding of Konoha. They reached the desert. The sudden ending of trees and the even more sudden sandy road seemed to stretch for miles announced the approaching of the desert. Naruto took out a scroll, and from it popped up 6 canteens. He gave one to everyone, except Kyuubi, who didn't need it. He then said that they should get across in 2 days. Team 10 looked at him like he was crazy. 2 days? Asuma asked. More like we'd get lost in 2 days. Asuma-san, Hinata said, Naruto knows exactly what he's talking about. Naruto bit his thumb. Kuchio's no jutsu. Suddenly a huge, 8-tailed fox appeared. Team 10 stood in awe at the colossal size of it, and in a feminine voice it said, Kyuubi-sama, Naruto-sama, Hinata-sama, I'm here to do your bidding. How many times do I have to tell you not to suck up? Kyuubi asked the kitsune. The giant fox grinned an innocent smile. I have no idea what you're talking about, Kyuubi-sama. Yeah. Then under his breath he added, geez, you promote a kitsune one time, and suddenly they're your best friend and they drop anything to help you. Jasmine, we need you to get us to the sand, that shouldn't be too hard. Not at all, I will take you there with all my speed. Good. Okay, everybody, let's mount up. As soon as the party had found a comfortable spot on Jasmine's back, she shot off into the desert. Soon, Sunagaku rose above the horizon. Thanks, Jasmine, that's enough. Okay, I'll drop you off here. Jasmine slowed to a stop and came to rest a mile from the cliff that surrounded Suna. Team Fox thanked Jasmine, she puffed away, then they turned to Team 10. They looked sick. Don't worry, Naruto said, the first time is the worst. Ino ran over to a nearby dune and everyone heard her give up her lunch. The 2 teams walked into Sunagaku. It did not take long for a red-haired boy to come and greet them. Naruto, it has been too long, he said as he walked over and hugged the boy. Gaara, long time no see, buddy. The blonde responded. So how are things going in Konoha? Oh, you know, the usual, but I mean look at you, Kazekage. Oh, it's nothing really. Nothing. Okay, it's a little something. Oh, Gaara, before I forget, this is my team, you've already met Kyuubi. Yo, the kitsune said, this is my future wife, Hinata Hyuga. It's wonderful to meet you, Kazekage-sama. Hinata said as she bowed. And this is Team 10, our companions. They are Shikamaru Nara, Chuji Akamaiki, Ino Yamanka, and their sensei, Asuma, Sarutobi. Welcome to Sunagaku, the village hidden in the sand. It didn't take long for Temari, a blonde with her hair done in 4 pigtails, to find Shikamaru. She had remembered the unexplained kindness he did to her Chunin exams, and she wanted to repay him. Shikamaru would regret giving up on that day for the rest of his life. But we will leave them for now, and join the rest of the party. They sat in the Kazekage's office. Gaara was briefing them on a rather disturbing situation. 2 weeks ago, an attempt was made on my life. I took care of the idiot who attacked me, but 2 days later he seemed to come back. What do you mean by come back? Naruto asked. That's just it, I'm not entirely sure, he just seemed to return from the S. I have a question, Gaara, did he have a little gold medallion? About yay big. Yes, actually. Okay. Second question, did he wear a black robe with red clouds on it? Yes. How did you know? Naruto looked at Kyuubi and they both said the same name at the same time, Hidden. Who? Ino asked. He's a member of the Atatsuki, and a follower of Jashin. Naruto answered. Who is Jashin? The followers of Jashin is a cult that mocks the true god, the Great One. Kyuubi explained, the followers use demonic rituals and charms to grant immortality. Of course the poor souls have no idea that they are really destroying themselves. Poor wretched devils. Hidden is especially dangerous, the immortality ritual is especially dark, even for most of the followers. In short, he's an extremist. Naruto finished. The Atatsuki are also a force to be reckoned with. Their leader, whoever he is, believes that by using the power of all the Biju, he can create a jutsu that will bring peace to the world, What he doesn't mention is the destruction of most of the world. How do you know all of this? Gaara asked. Kyuubi keeps tabs on the people after him. Naruto said simply. Interesting. Well, now that I know what is after me, would you like to be employed as my bodyguards until this threat is dealt with? No problem, I don't have to sleep, so I can watch over you 24 out of 7. Kyuubi said. And Hinata and I can place some fox summon guards on you too. Naruto said. And in the case of an emergency, we can be called and take care of them. Excellent, I'll have a hotel room set up for you and you can settle down there for a while. He picked up a stack of papers with a sand tentacle. Enjoy your stay in Suna. Let us now return to the poor Nara who is forced to eat at a 5-star restaurant, and has no choice but to follow a drop-s gorgeous woman all day. Troublesome, he mumbled under his breath. Admittedly, the food was good, but the walking was king him, he only wanted to take a nap. Unfortunately for him, Temari's history lesson was boring him, only increasing the urge to sleep. This is where the first Kazekage declared Suna a hidden village. It was the year 723. ZZ. Temari glanced at Shikamaru, and nearly slapped him awake. Luckily for him, she decided to gently wake and ask him if he was tired. After all, coming all the from Konoha was a long and tearing TS. Hey, are you tired? Yes, actually. Well, my brother probably has a hotel room set up for you guys. Do you want to go there and we can continue this another day? That would not be troublesome. Temari took him to the hotel, got him to his room, and made sure he was fast asleep before going off to find his teammates. They probably knew what he liked best, and that would probably make his day. The week slowly dragged by. After Temari learned that Shikamaru's favorite thing to do was sleep, she went to his room, wrote a note saying, "Here's the rest of our day, enjoy your sleep," and went off to enjoy herself. Shikamaru thought it was awesome to find a girl that would let him sleep for a whole 24 hours, and decided that he should at least try to be interested. As for the rest of our group, they were bored out of their minds. Hiden had not made another move since Gaara called was starting to get a little. Naruto did made a bet. If I say I give up, he'll be here. Why do you say that? Hinata asked. Murphy's Law, my dear, Murphy's Law. Well, then I give up. Suddenly an alarm sounded. Naruto just smiled. We should have given up days ago. Gaara saw the red scythe-like blades dig into the dome of sand. This guy was becoming boring. Each time it was the same attack. He knew that as the blade dug into the dome, Hiden was preparing a chakra-enhanced swing at the weakened area. It never happened. That's new. What's he up to? Gaara quickly prepared an eye of sand and sent it outside to check things out. The fox blade had the scythe locked in its swing, never to hit its target. I'm sorry, the Kazekage is not available, can you leave a message? Before Hiden could say anything, much less attack, a 7-tailed fox with 2 round weapons rammed him. On time for once Axel, I'm impressed. Axel is owned by Disney and Square Enix, not me. Unfortunately. You're just jealous of my good looks. Axel replied. Yeah, you can go. Axel puffed away, just as Hiden stood up. Do you know who I am, boy? Yes, you're Hiden, the follower of Jashin. The name, Jashin, was like a bad taste as Naruto spat it out. But do you know who I am? Why should I care? Naruto smiled. In a flash he had rammed Hiden, knocking him off his feet. A second later, Hiden felt a dull pain on his cheek. There was a small trickle of blood. Naruto slapped Hiden's face. Come on, up and at him. Hiden's face twisted with rage and he started swinging his scythe blindly, hoping to land a blow on the arrogant boy. Naruto laughed. If you think you can hit me by doing that, you may just as well cut off your own head. Shut the F up, you annoying son of a b. You asked a question, why you should care who I was. Well, I have an answer for you. Naruto smiled. Fear of the forest technique. Fear of the fox blade no jutsu. Naruto's sword glowed a brilliant white light. He smiled. Stage 1. Lightning. A bolt of electricity shot the scythe blade from Hiden's hand. Stage 2. Earth. Hiden's feet were caught in stone boots. Stage 3. Grass. 2 vines wrapped around Hiden's arms, immobilizing them. Stage 4. Water. Ice formed around Naruto's sword. He swung it, and it landed as a puddle at his feet in the base of the vines, then froze, reinforcing both the boots and the vines. Stage 5. Wind. Naruto's feet became surrounded by miniature tornadoes. Naruto looked straight at Hiden. There's one way to kill an immortal like you, do you know what it is? Hiden started blankly at him, he had to be bluffing. Stage 6. Fire. Naruto's blade was surrounded in flame. Reduce them to ash. Suddenly, Naruto was a blur, aided by the tornadoes at his feet. Naruto flew at a speed that would have impressed any of the kitsune. It did not take long for those same tornadoes to spread the ashes far and wide. That's why you should care who I am. The other team was astonished. I take that back, they were beyond astonished. Suddenly, Hinata and Kyuubi sitting in lawn chairs didn't seem too weird. I told you he had it handled, Hinata said, as she worked on her tan. Asuma was in shock. Absolute shock. He was for 3 seconds before his heart started working again. He couldn't even say anything. Shikamaru looked at the scene. You woke me up to watch a light show. Troublesome. I'm going back to bed. Ino and Chuji didn't hear him. They just stared on, as did 2 more unseen spectators. A masked man paced back and forth as his partner stood, watching him with onyx eyes. I can't believe it, the masked man said, he ked Hiden. The other stood impassively. He is Naruto Namikaze, you shouldn't expect any less. He's a 16-year-old boy, Itachi. He should even know the secret to King Ajashin. Kakazu, you must relax, you won't live another day if you keep on worrying. Why do you say that? Are you conspiring against us? No, Itachi replied, we just have a date tomorrow. Kakazu looked completely confused, until he turned around. Hiden's ashes were hovering in the sky, forming letters. Tonight, at the gate. They read. Naruto is expecting us, Itachi said. It was dark. The cliffs of Suna always seemed to bring night faster than anywhere else. Naruto stood, with Kyuubi and Hinata, waiting for their prey. It was not long before Shikamaru joined them. Tell me, Shikamaru, was the message too obvious? What message? Then how did you? Never mind. It did not take long for the 2 enemy figures to make their appearance. They stared at each other in the darkness, waiting for someone to make a move. Finally, Naruto spoke, Itachi, I feel sorry for you. Why? Because, if our intelligence is right, Toby is going to be your next partner. Itachi slapped his forehead. Oh, man, I completely forgot about him. Did we come here to talk or to fight? Kakazu asked. Suddenly 5 huge beasts appeared behind him. Naruto smiled. Kyuubi, Hinata, take Itachi. Shikamaru, you're with me. Team Fox. Let's show this guys how to fight. They blurred. Suddenly, Itachi found himself again dodging thousands of chakra beams as Hinata launched her Shugohai Kurokajuyan show. Kyuubi, also dodging the thousands of chakra beams, kicked at him from behind. Only to have puff into smoke. Kyuubi suddenly felt cold steel being pressed against his N. I'm better than that. Naruto fought 3 of the 5 great beasts. One was spewing fire, another water, a third one, lightning, the other 2 were keeping Shikamaru at bay. All the while, Kakazu was using long tentacles to try and trip up the 2 fighters. He was unsuccessful each time. Shikamaru was lazily jumping around the field, unfortunately a little too lazily. His foot landed right next to a tentacle. Shikamaru landed on the sandy ground with a muffled thud. The wind beast stood over him with an evil glare. Suddenly it was crushed by a huge stone. 1 down, Naruto said, his blade covered in tiny pebbles, 4 to go. The earth beast saw what had happened, and attacked Naruto. Kakazu cursed. The earth one always had a stronger resistant will than the others. Now he had risked giving one of his stronger ones to the strange boy, while it needed to be on Naruto. Naruto saw the hesitation. Shikamaru. Now. The Nara's shadow lunged for the masked enemy. It caught him. Quickly, Shikamaru acted to grab a kunai from his leg. There was none. Kakazu laughed. Did you think I would carry around a bunch of kunai? They're not my kind of weapon, speaking of which. The water beast lunged for Shikamaru, causing him to break of the jutsu. Crud. Naruto whispered. Itachi, Kyuubi, and Hinata were all locked in a taijutsu battle. Both Kyuubi and Hinata were using the Kyubiken while Itachi, ironically, was using the Uchiha's reflecting taijutsu, what's it called? Each time someone almost hit him, he thanked heaven, all they needed was to shove the chakra out of their system to do damage. Unfortunately, two taijutsu users were hard to keep track of, and each time he tried to start a jutsu, they rushed him, forcing him to break it off. Again and again, he tried it, and each time the two stopped him from getting out of the taijutsu cycle. He quickly launched a kick to Hinata's chin, sending her flying, and evening the fight a bit. Kyuubi jumped in the air and did a roundhouse kick, landing with a chakra-enhanced fist to the ground. The earth shook. Itachi suddenly wished he had kicked Kyuubi instead. Then he saw something. Kunai, a lot of kunai, heading toward him. Then Hinata's voice was heard, shouting the name of the jutsu. Great whirlwind of kunai jutsu. The kunai that were coming at him, suddenly started orbiting Itachi at an amazing speed. They started getting closer. Itachi did the only thing he could do. He ran. Kakazu cursed. Itachi had abandoned him. Oh, well, I guess I'll just have to take the credit for bringing in Kyuubi. Naruto suddenly had an idea. Kyuubi, how's your chakra? Is that a rhetorical question? I need a flying Rasengan. Wow, I'll see what I can do. Naruto quickly espered the fire beast's chest, paralyzing it. Shikamaru. Shikamaru nodded, and tried it again. Kakazu laughed, you think that'll stop me? He jumped over the shadow, only to see a bright blue ball bounce off the ground in front of him. It exploded. The beasts quickly dissolved. Kakazu was no more. Kyuubi came up panting. Man, that's a lot of work. I'm actually going to have to sleep after that. Itachi? Naruto asked. Escaped. Naruto pretended to curse. We almost had him. Don't worry, we'll get him next time. The next day, Team Fox and Team 10 waved goodbye to the Kazekage and his family. Come again, Naruto. Gaara said. When I'm Hokage, we'll have plenty of meetings, okay? Sounds good. After Jasmine gave them a ride back to Konoha, the two teams went up to the Hokage Tower. Mission success, Hokage-sama. Naruto reported. That's wonderful, Asuma. They were no problem at all, Hokage-sama. Asuma said. Wonderful. Sarutobi smiled. Tsunade sent him a glare. You may go. Somewhere, at the Atatsuki hideout, a blonde man with nearly 1,000 piercing on his face paced the floor. Why did you abandon him, Itachi? I had no choice, and when I tried to go back, he was already S. The blonde-haired man cursed. This Naruto is becoming a thorn in my side, but we cannot kill him without risking the Kyuubi. He paused. What do you think, Itachi? Naruto is a formidable foe, he is very strong, and very influential in Konoha. The blonde sighed. Toby, get in here. A black-haired man with a strange orange mask came in. Toby is a good boy. Meet your new partner, Toby. Where is he? Leader-sama, all I see is Itachi-san. Both the leader and Itachi sweet-dropped. He is Itachi. The leader said. Ooh. Yay. Now go, both of you. Two wooden doors closed behind him as they left. Toby was walking with his new partner, about as happy as he could be, quietly squealing his delight. It did not take long for Itachi to crack. Toby, shut up. He activated his Sharingan and stared into the eye hole of the mask, only to meet a mirrored Sharingan eye. Toby shook his head, and glared at the Uchiha. Then in a voice that sounded vaguely familiar, but unlike Toby in every way he said. Never, do that again, Itachi. Itachi stared back, shocked. Toby then turned and returned to his skipping and squealing. Itachi stood in the hallway, shocked. Then suddenly, he felt very afraid. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.